Let's get rockin'!
It's time for the Metal Groove.
Fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
A podcast dedicated to music.
Party on, dude!
Extreme close up! Whoa! Whoa!
Here's your metal host,
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Tombstone Josh.
I'm your huckleberry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into an all-new episode of the Metal Groove Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Josh. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button wherever you are listening to this. And if you're feeling extra festive this holiday season, why don't you go ahead and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing, if we suck, if we're doing well. And also, please remember to always chime in on anything I bring up that I'm talking about on that show, the last show. If there's a topic you would like me to comment on, chime in on that as well. Always look forward to talking to people and sharing this passion that we have for music, man. I enjoy talking about it, and if there's people that want to talk about certain things, let me know, and we'll bring it up on the show, man. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can find this show on all podcast platforms. And for all future interview shows, which are video related, they will now be found on my personal YouTube, which I'll put a link on here somewhere that you guys will be able to find. All right. On this week's show, we are talking about some news and then announcements of some tours that are going to be coming up in the next year, especially one band in particular, where I will be giving my top 10 songs of that particular band at the end of the show. So strap it in, crank it up, and let's go, man. Let's get to it. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's dive in. Let's have a good time this week. Unfortunately, got to start the show off on a sad note. As a drummer, I just wanted to share the news and share my respects for the passing of Bob Breyer, who was the former drummer of My Chemical Romance, and then share the band's statement. The 44-year-old musician was found dead in his home in Tennessee on November 27th, and a cause of death is currently being investigated. He was last seen alive on November 4th, but authorities do not suspect any foul play. The statement released by the band on social media reads as, "It is with a heavy heart that we have to say goodbye to Bob Breyer, our former bandmate and an important part of the history of My Chemical Romance. We send our deepest condolences to his friends and his family. May he rest in peace." Breyer was a member of My Chemical Romance from 2004 until 2010, and thus played on their massive 2006 album, The Black Parade. He was also given songwriting credits on 2010's Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, though he exited the group ahead of the album's release. So yes, rest in peace to him. I wasn't a big fan of My Chemical Romance. I definitely appreciate the stamp that they put on rock music. They were huge for a little while there, and some of their songs are pretty good, man. I enjoy them. I just wasn't a big follower, but I do appreciate this guy's playing, and rest in peace, man. That was 44 years old, man. Holy, that's pretty much me. I just turned 41 this year. Life comes and goes as the wind blows, I guess. I don't know what saying to put there. It's just sad news, especially when someone at an age I consider very young to pass away. It's just unfortunate, man. So rest in peace. I wanted to read a couple articles, one in particular, because I just thought this was strange, man. And it seems to be the biggest news in regards to metal and rock music. This was kind of a weird one to me, but Knocked Loose was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. And, they went out there and they crushed it, as they would. Knocked Loose is an awesome band. But there's been some backlash, and I'm not understanding the backlash. So we're going to talk about this for just a second. I want to read this article, and this comes from Loudwire. Knocked Loose certainly stirred up some feelings with their Jimmy Kimmel live performance last week. And singer Brian Garris has a message for the critics. If it scared you, good! ! Knocked Loose took to the stage of the ABC late night show to perform their recent song Suffocate with a guest appearance by Poppy. I'm not exactly familiar who Poppy is. I do remember seeing her and watching the videos. Great song. I mean, that's what you would expect from this band. It was a great performance. Dressed in all black, the band took the stage with an illuminated cross backdrop mirroring the imagery of their latest album. The outdoor audience was being doused with a light rainstorm. As for special guest Poppy, she took to the stage in a white dress, belting just as heavy as her counterparts in a truly crushing performance. For many metal fans, the appearance didn't seem too much out of the norm, but it's not often that the heavier bands get this national viewing platform, and as a result, there was some criticism levied by viewers not used to seeing such on their TV screens. Now, what are these viewers saying? The performance yielded a broad range of responses, both on Kimmel's YouTube video itself as well as on social media. You know, I was trying to enjoy the program. I was sitting on my couch with my son, who is an adolescent, in all caps now. We had to put adolescent in all caps. Waiting to see the musical guest because we like the nice music the show usually books. By the third or fourth jaunt from the guitars, my son was in tears. This is the most dramatic, sensitive, unnecessary. I mean, hey, it's the internet. You're going to get stupid stuff like this all the time. But I mean, come on. By the third or fourth jaunt of the guitar, your kid was in tears? I mean, what do you got? This kid wrapped in bubble tape with earmuffs on all the time? All right, anyways, he doesn't like scary things. And quite frankly, I think the Kimmel Show and his staff should make a formal apology. A formal apology. This is insane. All right, anyways. Another one goes on to say, what's with all the screaming and spewing gibberish in the name of music? There's absolutely nothing appealing about this genre of music. Also, the crowd responding to this crazy woke musical genre all need to visit shrinks. Okay, your input is spot on, dude. You couldn't have nailed that performance any better. All right, next person goes on to say, that wasn't singing. Anyone can yell lyrics and get paid. While another user said, this was not enjoyable. You can't understand more than 5% of the lyrics. Moshing does not equal dancing. Others had a little more fun with the experience. One person mockingly responded in the comments, I demand an apology. I had my face melted off and started throwing uncontrollable spin kicks in my living room. All my furniture is destroyed. I caught both my children in a wicked windmill. All in all, it was a 10 out of 10 performance, but I don't think my family trusts me anymore. Some fans found the backlash amusing, which that's what I find it. I find it amusing. I mean, how in the world are these people going to take a musical performance so seriously? Like, I understand Jimmy Kimmel's crowd is a little bit more on the liberal side and the not very. I don't know. I think they just don't appreciate change. I mean, I don't know. I would think of the conservatives as the, you know what, I'm not going to get political on the show, but I want to say some things that Jimmy Kimmel's audience does not seem like the most accepting of audiences. And if you're going to throw this much of a fit over a musical performance, I mean, come on. Can we go back to the days of when Conan O'Brien had metal bands and rock bands, and just a diverse catalog of music is important. It's good. I mean, what if that kid stopped crying and listened for a second, and that spawned an influence that maybe he wanted to pick a guitar. Maybe he wanted to play drums. I mean, you have to have exposure to many different things. Whether you like it or not, you need to be exposed to it. But anyways, another person remarked, some kid watching this and seeing metal for the first time has found his calling. That's exactly what I just said. That's exactly what I was just saying. And I think these people are being too sensitive, and they need to lighten up a little bit. Put on some black, go outside, listen to some good music, listen to whatever you want. Just don't bitch about it, for crying out loud. It's just a show. Get over it, people. All right. What Brian Garris said about Knocked Loose's performance, seeing the public response to their show and having a chance to reflect on it, Garris saw this as a victory and another checklist moment for the group. He remarked, for a long time now, our goal has been to see how far we could squeeze this band into places where we don't fit, and I think this may be the biggest one, national television. It feels like the ceiling gets higher for everyone every single day. We celebrate this together. Good for him, man. I'm glad he's not taking the backlash seriously. I understand that metal is not for everybody, but you can't just automatically hate it because it is not your thing. And I guess that's the last thing I want to say about it. Please feel free to chime in with your thoughts on their performance. Please feel free to chime in with your thoughts on the, I'm putting air quotes now, backlash to their performance. Just whatever you guys, whatever your thoughts are. I do want to say props to the Jimmy Kimmel Show for even putting this band on their airwaves. I mean, it's great. Like I said, variety is a good thing. I mean, we just had Gojira at the Olympics, man. I mean, and that had a phenomenal response. I don't know why people are having such again, whatever, it is what it is. Jimmy Kimmel, he says some things sometimes that I don't agree with, but I say props to his show for having this on. And hopefully, I mean, we don't know how much of this backlash is a big thing. I mean, obviously it made news, but I mean, if it's just 10% of the comments versus, 90% of the people that loved it, hopefully Jimmy Kimmel will continue to have rock bands on his show. Because I feel like it's a good thing to share all kinds of different aspects of music with the world. But anyways, another band that could potentially be on Jimmy Kimmel if people will stop throwing fits is Killswitch Engage. They just released their brand new single, Forever Aligned. The track is taken from the band's upcoming album, The Consequence, which is due out in February of next year. This Consequence is Killswitch Engage's 9th album overall, and 6th with original vocalist Jesse Leach, who rejoined the band in 2012. Forever Aligned is one of those songs that is not just about us as humans, our love and connection, but that connection to the unknown, the greater power, the universe, or God, explains Leach. It feels like a really good first song to release, not just sonically, but lyrically, as it is all about connection. The device of the world we live in could use a lot more connectivity. Regarding the album, Leach continues, the consequence to me is the combination of everything the past 5 years has thrown at us as a band, as humans, and society as a whole. This album is just as much about everybody and their stories as it is for me about my journey personally. Cool, man. He goes on to finish as saying, I think it's the exact record we needed to make. I'm honored and proud of what we are able to create and refine through this music and message, man. Good for them. That's good to see. Glad Killswitch Engage still out there kicking out some jams. And maybe they will be going on tour to support that album next year. Please let me know what you guys think of that song. I checked it out. I listened to it. Pretty standard stuff from the Killswitch Engage company, which means it is awesome. So if you guys are a fan of Killswitch Engage and you enjoy the song, let me know. If you're a big baby that watches Jimmy Kimmel and you happen to stumble across his show, please tell me how much you hate the song, because I'd love to hear that. All right, anyways, speaking of tours and moving on, I have a couple of things I want to jump into here and share before we get into the last one and the top 10 songs. I'll try and get through these as quick as I can. I'm trying to make these shows a little bit shorter and shorter these days. I know the attention span for people doesn't last very long, but I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk about music and talking about these things. The mighty Meshuggah will be gracing North America concert venues in 2025. They will be bringing Cannibal Corpse and Carcass with them for what promises to be a truly crushing night of metal. Now, if those guys came close, I would definitely go see that show. Yeah, that sounds like an awesome show. It probably, for here, man, as big as they're getting and as much as they got going on, it would probably be at the Coliseum. But if they were to play the Music Farm, holy moly, that would be an incredible show at the Music Farm. The new dates come as Meshuggah continues to support their new album, Immutable. The shows mark their first North American shows since December 2023, man. Props to them, spreading that metal love across the country, man. Good for them. Speaking of another metal band, which I am slowly becoming a fan of, and it's mostly because their singer is gorgeous, which I did see an article. She is hoping to be the first female to either be nominated or to win Best Metal Vocalist this coming year, man. So props to her. I don't think we get a chance to vote on that, but I hope she does. But yeah, I'm talking about Courtney LaPlante of the band Spirit Box, which I enjoy. Spirit Box is awesome. What first got me into them was seeing clippets of their singer. I'm like, man, this lady is gorgeous. Oh, and she can sing. Oh, and this band is awesome. I'm going to keep checking them out. But they have just announced a headlining 2025 North American tour as well in support of their new album, Tsunami Sea. The 4-band bill is rounded out by Loathe, Dying Wish, and Gel. It's a knockout tour package and one that rests firmly with some of the most exciting bands of the current era. That's awesome, man. If you see they are coming near you, go check them out because I'm sure that's going to be a fun set. Stained and Breaking Benjamin have just announced a co-headlining 2025 U.S. tour with special guests Wage War and Lakeview. Dubbed the Awaken the Fallen Tour, this run is mostly a reprise of a tour that took place this fall, which featured Daughtry and Lakeview as support. Now, I'm not a big fan of Stained, but I do like Breaking Benjamin. I do like them a lot. I didn't see if they were coming close, but if they did come close, I would consider going to that one. Because it's probably a good show. And those were a few that I wanted to bring up. I have two more to talk on, but those couple, and I think Slipknot is going to be touring as well. There's going to be a lot more announced as the year ends and as the new year begins, which I will be gladly sharing with you guys. These were just the biggest ones I've seen come across my feed lately. All right, one more tour I want to bring up that's not necessarily metal. I guess it counts as rock. And maybe me and my brother saw one of these bands with Sum 41. I don't remember. I really don't remember their set. I feel like we left after Sum 41 played. But I guess it counts as rock. But I'm only talking about it because I'm considering it as it could be one that I would take my daughter to as her first concert. She's 9 years old. And this concert is going to be Avril Lavigne with support from Simple Plan and We as Kings. I feel like, did we see Simple Plan? I don't know. Review it, Rob. Please chime in. Let me know if we did or not. So my daughter is getting interest in going to concerts. I mean, she sees these videos online, and of course she wants to go see Taylor Swift. She wants to go see Olivia Rodrigo, but those tickets are pretty pricey. I mean, we don't want to. I mean, you could probably enjoy, like, those all-encompassing tours. You could probably enjoy the show no matter where you sit, but it just feels like, let's pump the brakes on the Taylor Swift right now. Let me save up for a couple years before we go see Taylor Swift. But I think we're going to start with Avril Lavigne. We almost went to see Pink. Pink came close, but we decided against that. Avril Lavigne is a little bit more up my alley. I feel like her songs are good pop rock, emo songs. Something to pump your fist to, sing along to. So I think it would be fun. A fun first concert for my kid. It's going to be right around her birthday. School's going to be out. It's an awesome venue. I've seen the Black Crowes at this place. I think it could be a good one, man. So let me know what you guys think. Just tell me in the comments. Do you think it's a good idea for his first concert or not? Okay. All right. A band also going on tour and who I am featuring this week in a top 10 songs are the rock icons of ACDC. That is right. ACDC has just announced a North American tour. There's going to be rock and roll all over the place for you guys to love on and enjoy and stuff in your ears, including ACDC. For those not familiar with ACDC, they are a rock band. You know what? I'm actually going to steal a line here from one of my all-time favorite movies, which is Tommy Boy. I'm just going to change a few things up. If you don't know who AC/DC is, hit the call button, and Tommy will come back there, and he will hit you on your head with a tack hammer because you are a retard. Those are not my words. I'm just quoting a movie. Loosely quoting a movie. It's not a nice word there. But if you don't know who AC/DC is, what are you doing? Who are you? Where have you been? You been living under a rock? Have you been on the opposite side of the country? Because these guys have been crushing it for literal decades. Legendary rock band AC/DC announced a 2025 North American tour, their first in 9 years. The legendary band's first stateside outing in 9 years. That's crazy. The 13-date tour, which features support from the Pretty Reckless, awesome band, another cool singer with an awesome band, takes place in April and May of 2025. Featuring massive stadium shows in Minneapolis, Texas, California, British Columbia, Nevada, Michigan, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Florida, Tennessee, Illinois, and Cleveland, Ohio. Interesting. No Carolina or Georgia dates. That's fine. That's fine, ACDC. Maybe you'll do a second run and you'll come a little bit closer. ACDC has not played a live show since their 2016 Rock or Bust tour until they returned to the stage in October of 2023 with a one-off gig at the Power Trip Festival in California. The band then embarked on a UK European tour in May of 2024. The band is touring in support of their latest album, 2020's Power Up, which marked the return of singer Brian Johnson, who had been replaced by Axl Rose on the 2016 tour due to his hearing issues. Classic members Cliff Williams and Phil Rudd also returned for the album, but have not been touring with ACDC. The band's current touring lineup features Johnson, lead guitarist Angus Young, rhythm guitarist Stevie Young. I almost wrote that as Steve Young. But Steve Young, Hall of Fame quarterback, guitar player for AC/DC. That's some range right there. But no, Stevie Young, bassist Chris Chaney, and drummer Matt Logg. That is going to be the touring lineup for AC/DC as they go on tour with the Pretty Reckless. That's a pretty good show. I say it's a pretty good show, man. So in honor of the announcement, I'm going to be sharing my top 10 AC/DC songs. Feel free to chime in with yours, and also let me know if you'll be attending any of the shows that I talked about on this show somewhere. If you're going to go see these, let me know if you're excited about it. If you want to come back and review, you can do that as well. If I see them, I'll be reviewing them. Which, speaking of concert, quick announcement before I dive into this top 10. My brother and I will be going to Florida in a week, and we're going to be seeing Steel Panther. So, like I said, anytime Steel Panther is remotely close, I will go see them. They are so fun, and they are touring in support of the 15th anniversary of their debut album, Feel the Steel. So I just feel like it's going to be a fun show. Feel like one I can't miss, and this is going to be the closest they'll be to us. So we're going to go see that. So I'll be reviewing that in a couple weeks. And also, I did see an article I didn't want to share this week because I'm already talking too much, but Rolling Stone magazine put out their top 100 albums of the year, and a couple rock albums made the chart, and especially one metal one. So teaser, on the next show that I do, I'll be talking Steel Panther concert review and, rock albums of the year. I think that'd be a good episode. I do have a couple interviews lined up as well. One especially with a drummer I'm excited about that we're going to get on the program. But anyways, diving back in to this, feel free to chime in with what your top 10 songs are. Please tell me what your favorite AC/DC songs are. There is a ton. There is so many. There's as many great AC/DC songs as there are wild animals in Australia. It's amazing. It's crazy. It's bizarre. AC/DC, they have a formula. They stick to that formula, and that formula works. Just like macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving. We just had Thanksgiving. If you have a good recipe, don't change up the recipe. People love good mac and cheese. Don't change it up. Don't throw peas in there. Don't throw weird spices in there because you want to be fancy. No. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, Sally. That's what we like to say around here. Mac and cheese is great. AC/DC is great. They are as pure and perfect yet simple as Bugs Bunny cartoons. There's so many great songs by AC/DC, man. But here is my list. I'm going to be doing it from 10 to 1, playing a short clip of each song in between. Coming in at number 10 is a funny one. It always gets a good chuckle out of me. It's funny. Lyrics are what they are. Just a silly old school rock and roll song. And that's called Big Balls. At number 9, another old school classic, favorite of mine, because it feels like a touch too much. Let's go. At number 8, man, I love this song. And to be honest with you, if there wasn't so many great AC/DC songs, this one would be higher up on the list. But right now, here comes Sin City. Number 7 on the list for me is a favorite because it's another one of those funny ACDC songs. One of my favorite bands of all time covered it. Phenomenal riff. Whole Lotta Rosie. Number 6 is one of those quintessential ACDC songs. And you can't say the name of the song without following it up with Oi, Oi, Oi. And that's TNT. Oi, Oi, Oi. Number 5 is another one that I honestly could put at number 1 just because of the chugging. The drums of it are fun. It's a fun song to play. It's a fun song to sing. Dirty deeds and a done dirt cheap. Just gets me going already. Number 4 is a song that the audience of Jimmy Kimmel needs to recognize. They need to understand. They need to learn it. They need to live it because rock and roll ain't noise pollution. Number 3 is a banger right off the rip. Another one of my favorite bands covered this. Foo Fighters, by the way. The other one was Guns N' Roses. If you didn't know, they covered Whole Lotta Rosie. But Foo Fighters do a great version of this song. I really love this song. Fast-paced, fun to sing along to. That's Let There Be Rock. At number 2, give me that guitar. Give me that powerful chorus. Give me the awesome funness that comes along with it and everything that has to do with this song. You know what it is. You been
Thunderstruck! Thunderstruck! Yeah, 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 thunderstruck! Thunderstruck!
And at number 1, a song I love. I could have went back and forth with so many of these to be at number 1. I mean, this top 10 list might as well be a 1A all the way down. 1B, 1C, 1D. Every single one of these could be number 1 songs. In my opinion, they're all great. And to be honest with you, I didn't go with the hits. The hits are great songs. They're just not my personal favorite. So if I left one off, I'm sorry. But at number one for me is a staple. Like, I feel like if I'm going to work out, if I'm going to go on a walk or a run or something, this is a song I want kicking off that playlist. And it is Shoot to Thrill. That is the show for this week. That is my top 10 ACDC songs. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I always enjoy doing the top 10 songs list, especially when it's ACDC. It's one of my dad's favorite bands. I remember listening to them a ton growing up. My dad had always had them on, and I guess that just instilled their awesomeness inside of me. So it was a good time. If I left one of your favorite songs off the list, please let me know. If I missed a good one, let me know. Tell me some songs I need to check out, maybe give a second listen, because there are a ton of them, man. ACDC has a bunch of good songs. There's a few duds in there, but the majority of the time, they're really good. Just a fun listen, man. ACDC, they are legends. We salute them, and I salute you, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Please share the show. That helps us reach other algorithms, helps us reach other ears, and it's just helps the show grow, man. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you guys had a great holiday and continue to have a safe, happy holiday season. I hope you guys stay healthy. Most importantly, I hope you guys stay metal. We'll see you next time.